Hello everyone, it's Elliot here. I thought it's time for a bit of a collection update. So in this video, I'm going to show you some of the 4K Blu-ray titles that I've added to my collection in the last month or so. I have been trying to be more selective about what I'm adding to the collection these days, but on some months I just pick up more than others, and last month was a pretty good month for titles being added to my collection. This first film I won't spend too much time talking about because I already did a review on the channel. It is Dune, and this is a great film, a great disc. I love having this in the collection. So if you want to check out more about what I thought about this disc and the film, then watch my video on this. I'll link it down in the description below. The next thing that I added to my collection is Batman. This is the Tim Burton version from the late 1980s. I wanted to get this because, first of all, I'm doing some catch up on some discs that I should have picked up when they came out, but I just didn't for whatever reason. So I'm late to the party on this one, but I can't wait to revisit this. I haven't watched it yet because it literally just arrived today, and I wanted to watch it because there's so much buzz around Batman at the moment with the new film coming out, so I can't wait to check this one out. There was actually a multi-buy deal on DC films on 4K. So the one that I paired with Batman is The Suicide Squad. I missed this when it came out in the cinema, and I'd heard a lot of good things about it actually. So I checked it out and I absolutely love this film. It's a lot of fun. So much better than that older Suicide Squad film, which was a bit of a disaster really. I imagine a lot of you have already checked out this film, but if you haven't, definitely give it a chance. The next one that I picked up is Collateral. This came out last year, but I missed it at the time, so I didn't do a review on it or anything. But this was also in a multi-buy deal recently, so I had to get it. I'm a huge fan of Michael Mann's films, and it's a real shame, by the way, that Heat is not coming to 4K anytime soon, because it was rumoured that that was, and then, yeah, it just hasn't surfaced yet. Enough about Heat, though. Collateral is such a great film. It's Tom Cruise playing very much against his type, alongside Jamie Foxx, and they both give such great performances in this film. Michael Mann has a particular fondness for digital filmmaking, and you really see that in films like Collateral and Miami Vice. His films have a very particular look, and I think it looks great on this 4K disc. Next up, I got this one because it was cheap and I really should have bought it a long time ago. It's La La Land. I have a great fondness for this film. I think I saw it 4 times when it came out in the cinema. This is just one of those films that I can just put on in the background and, you know, it just makes my day better, basically. This is not the best musical of all time, but I do like how it's harkening back to certain musical filmmaking from the likes of Vincent Minnelli or Jacques Demy. It's just a film that I love to watch, and I really should have upgraded to this a long time ago. Following on from La La Land, I have another Damien Chazelle film. It's First Man. I used to own this one on a 4K steelbook, which I sold when I had my massive steelbook Exodus, but I wanted to have this back in the collection, so I picked this one up very cheap. So it was a no-brainer for me to pick this up. I think I remember it looking quite good on the 4K, although it is a 2K upscale, so I'll be interested to see what I think about it watching it again very soon. I have another space film here now. It's Ad Astra. This is the film from James Gray, starring Brad Pitt. Now, I had this on a normal Blu-ray, but again, this one was quite cheap, so I thought I'm going to upgrade it to 4K, and I'll see what it looks like. I haven't yet had a chance to watch it, so if you have any thoughts on how this 4K disc looks or sounds, please do let me know in the comments below. James Gray is a filmmaker who I mentioned recently in a video I made on some underrated films in my collection, because I was talking about The Lost City of Zed. This film I think is underrated as well. I got to see this when it came out, and I had a great time with it. It's very much like Lost City of Zed, a Heart of Darkness story about one man's journey into the unknown to try and get some answers. So if you've not checked out this film and you like space films, what are you doing? You've got to check it out. Another 4K disc that I should have picked up ages and ages ago, but just haven't for whatever reason. It's Casino, the Martin Scorsese film. I've not seen this film in many, many years, so I'm very excited to check it out on the 4K disc, no less. I don't actually know if this has good reviews or not. I mean, in terms of the disc, obviously the film is great, but the disc, I don't know how it fares, so I'm excited to see how it looks and sounds. The film itself, I always feel, played second fiddle to Goodfellas. Obviously there's the De Niro-Pesci connection, and the story and the themes are sort of similar, and Scorsese was occupying that similar space in the 90s. It'll be interesting watching it again with new eyes many years later to see how it does fare when standing up next to Goodfellas, because I've always thought Goodfellas was much superior to Casino, but who knows, let's see when I watch it very soon. And the last 4K disc that I've added to my collection in the last month or so is The Shawshank Redemption. This is a film which is famous now for occupying the #1 spot on IMDb's top 250 films of all time. That is basically declaring this as the best film of all time. Now, naturally, I disagree with that. I think this is a fine film, but yeah, perhaps very overrated in that respect. You've got to remember that IMDb is taking that data from an aggregate of many, many people's reviews. So it isn't that this is the best film of all time, it's just very highly rated amongst the most number of people. With all that said, I haven't seen this in years, so it'll be interesting to see what I think of it now. Will I still think it's quite overrated, or will this now be my favourite film of all time? Probably not, but we will see. So there you have it, just a quick video running down some of the films that I've added to my 4K collection in the last month or so. As you could see, a number of these I haven't actually watched yet, so if you have any particular thoughts on the films themselves or the discs, then please do let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching the video as always. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do click subscribe, and I will be back very soon for more videos on Blu-rays and film collecting. So until then, stay well, keep watching great films.